Hello, and welcome to the Journey with Janey podcast. I'm Jane Anderson, and I'd like to welcome you all back here today for finding support and community. And this is something I've mentioned in the past about finding the tribe, finding your tribe. I think there's actually an episode called that where I talk a bit more in depth about me finding my tribe and the people who are going to guide and support you on your journey. So let's start with my thoughts. When we're grieving, it can be easy to believe that we have to do it all ourselves, to do it alone. And that strength meaning silence. Just sweeping it under the carpet, especially here in the farming community. The kind of stiff upper lip, you're fine, get on with it. It is what it is. And yeah, it is what it is. But sometimes we need that little bit of support to just get us into a place where we can accept that it is what it is and move forward. So I totally get it. It is kind of, it was me. I am that person where it's like, oh, got to get sorted, got to do this, got to do that. And yeah, you don't have to do it alone. You can find that one person, that group of people that resonates and that can help guide and support you. And that's what happened with me over time. I realised, I'm going to say it kind of a gentle feeling inside that actually I needed support. I needed guidance. I actually needed somebody to tell me what I needed to do. And that's me on a personal level. I'm not saying that you are that person. I was lost. My identity had gone and I just had no clue what I was actually supposed to be doing. So I needed somebody to help me on that journey. So that's kind of gone into the bigger, wider community support. For me, in the early days, the support from neighbours and friends who brought food, so I didn't have to think about cooking, the cakes on the doorstep, which were always a pleasure to see, and the love in the silent gestures. I can't even think of an example, but flowers were absolutely amazing. So in the early days, those just silent little gestures of, I'm coming to pick you up to take you for a cuppa, or I'm coming to sit with you while we watch something on the telly, just to have somebody there with you. A friend who didn't fix the pain. Now, it doesn't have to be a friend. It can be anybody. It can be somebody like me who will just sit and listen. Or it can be, whatever works for you is what I'll say. What works for one person doesn't work for somebody else. Later on my journey, which is what I was kind of hitting on in the first few minutes, was I was guided to mentorship, to Dynamite Lifestyle and Kim Calvert's teachings by a friend who said, I've got something you need. And I had no idea what mentorship was other than what I'd done within the workplace, where team leaders were mentored by a director. And I had no concept of what mentorship was or what the journey was going to be as I ventured into this. And I have to say that it was something to focus on in the start. It was accountability. It was do this, do that. Not because you have to. These are tools to help you move forward. And it's not specific to the grief journey. It is mentorship, the scientific process of the mind. And it has been so much more than just finding my tribe. And in the early days, it was my safe place to talk about the journey that I was on, talk about my challenges, and talk about Jonathan and talk about Mum. And I felt safe, I felt listened to, and I felt respected. And that is where I've built the Journey with Janey ethos from. I am the me I needed 3 years ago. So each moment that I was on calls or when, a situation arose that I needed a bit of guidance, I could turn to some of the people in the community and ask the questions. And also having a group of people witness my grief, and that actually, I can't think of the word, how to describe it, almost softens is a weird word, isn't it? Lightens, I think, probably the grief within. And I think when I spoke about the strength doesn't have to be isolation. It can be about doing you, be you, and actually realizing you're the only person you can control, and there's only you can do the work to move forward. We can all help each other. We can all say things and guide. Ultimately, it's down to the person who's grieving to do the work on themselves. So all I'm saying is community doesn't remove your grief, but it, like I've said before, we carry the grief with us for life. It's as we grow, we get smaller. So a community helps you to carry that grief. Maybe the rucksack won't be as heavy. Empty a few of those stones out, whatever works. So going back to the community side of things, in my work now, I see how vital community is in whatever shape or form. It could be going to a running class. It could be going to the gym. It could just be going out with a different group of people for a meal. And it validates the experience that we're having. It reminds us that we're not broken and we're not the only ones feeling this way, especially if you join sort of a grief circle or a bereavement cafe, whatever shape or form that works for you. And there are lots of different ways to get that community feel, the support. There's formal therapy, counselling, grief groups, and there's the holistic side of like coaching, and like myself, who is trained by David Kessler, who is the Finding Meaning guru that was linked to, did a lot of work with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. And there are so many different things out there. And I think for me, it is like a minefield, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. So I found my community, my tribe, as I call it, in Dynamite Lifestyle, in the mentorship program, and I now see how that is so much more than what I expected it to be, if I'm honest. My awareness, my growth over the past 3 years has been beyond anything that I ever expected. Going back to the different kinds of support, there's obviously the informal kind of let's have a chat with a friend, sharing a meal with family, and making those new family rituals, whatever that may be, whatever shape or form that may take. Then there's the creative support, like getting out in nature, walking with a group walking, writing in a group, not, or a lot of people find spiritual gatherings help. And I'm not saying this list is like definitive. There is loads of different ways to do it. And it's basically finding that one thing that helps you to, like I mentioned before, get out of bed in the morning and live your day. Small, simple steps. So, and I think for me, the key is safety. You need to feel safe in whatever you're doing and wherever you go. That first step is always the toughest, but once you've taken it, you can take another step. It's the spaces that allow you to be who you actually are. To talk about how you're feeling, if that's what you want to do. But ultimately to be everything of who you are. The grief as well, everything. And for me, that was the friends I had, support, and the new cheerleaders in Dynamite Lifestyle. Kim Calvert as my mentor, and the team, and all of the beautiful, beautiful humans that supported and cheered me on my journey. Every step, when I felt like I wasn't doing me, they were there to pick up the pieces and send the messages and help me on my way. Obviously, I'd love you to be part of my community, the Journey with Janey community, but only if it resonates. If not, all I'm saying is please find that something or someone that is your safe space to express your feelings and be you. You deserve to be you, so find that space. And I'm going to leave you with some gentle ways to invite more connection into your life. I mean, I became I think I was almost addicted to networking, because it was going into a room full of people and talking to total strangers about what my new role was in life. And yeah, I'm sure some of the people that I spoke to the first few times were like, oh, wow, what is she on? Never mind. Yeah, some tips for you anyway. Reach out to one person. Only needs to be one person who feels safe, and so that one person that you can share with honestly, even if it's sharing one truth about how you are actually feeling. Not the I'm okay, I'm fine, which is the easy, quick answer. If you're not fine, tell them. Have a look online, see what else is available. There are lots and lots and lots of different charities that are linked to different forms of bereavement. And look for the ones that focus on compassionate support. And it doesn't have to be a specific bereavement group. Like I mentioned before, it could be getting out to a running group, a walking group, being out in nature, being outside is a huge reminder that we're all nature at the end of the day. And that is where my connection and healing has taken place, being out in nature and the fresh air and just allowing time to be me. And I think I've mentioned in previous episodes about creating a ritual. It's fine to do that. You do you. If you want to create a little ritual of lighting a candle at 7 o'clock every night and just saying a few words, so be it. Or if you want to sit down and write in your journal, or link the two together. One of the big things I found help was actually talking about Jonathan and Mum, sharing memories, which is where Janey, you never realised, came from, because that was a nod to Mum and my memories of growing up as a child. So as normal, I've pulled some reflective prompts together for you to have a look to help you with your journaling. So here we go. Where in my life have I felt most supported in grief? Where in my life have I felt most supported in grief? What makes me feel safe to share openly? What makes me feel safe to share openly? What kind of community am I longing for right now? You might not know the answer to that, but you'll have a feeling inside as to what you actually want. There'll be a feeling, heart, tummy, whatever. There'll be something that will come to you. What do you want? What are you? What kind of community am I longing for right now? Now, when I say journaling, you might write, you might draw, or you might just sit and be, which is sometimes what I do, just sitting and listen. Grief can be lonely, but we are never meant to grieve in isolation. We are never meant to grieve alone. Connection, even in the smallest forms, reminds us that we are held and that love continues to move through us together. For me, in the early days, it was talking things out to my dogs while I was out for my walks in nature. Anything that came to mind that made me feel gurgly in the tummy, whatever. My dogs could tell some amazing stories. And maybe one day they will. And remember, the Quiet Field retreats, workshops, in person and online, and one-to-one support sessions that I run. But all I'm going to say is, if I resonate, get in touch. That's fine. You know how to get in touch with me. If it doesn't resonate, but you think you might need to do something, go and find that community, that one person that can help you. And I know I've talked and related this to grief, but it can be anything. Finding that safe space to talk is absolutely key. Thank you for joining me on the Journey with Janey podcast. It's always a pleasure to be with you on a Wednesday or whenever you are downloading and listening to the Journey with Janey podcast. All I ask is that you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And also remember, there are ways of contacting me through my website on www.janeywithjaney.com. There's a contact button to book a call, which is a free 15-minute call. And all the details of the ways to work with me are on my website. I'm always available for a chat, a DM, or just a message via LinkedIn or Instagram. We all have the social handles now. Just drop me a message and let's talk. And remember, we don't have to do this alone, which is exactly why I am here to help guide you on this journey. I am the me that I needed 3 years ago, and I hope and feel that I can help you on your journey of moving forward by taking small, simple steps. So from me to you, take care.